But I need a DJ name.
Something with Smalls in there.
Okay.
Maybe not Biggie Smalls. You don't wear wigs. I would say Wiggy Smalls, but that doesn't.
But I could wear wigs.
You can wear wigs. That could be your gimmick. That could be your gimmick. You can wear wigs.
I don't mind a wig.
That's really good.
And you could DJ.
Wiggy Smalls? Anytime I had a set, people were like, what's the wig going to be?
What's the wig going to be?
It is me, Wiggy Smalls, here on Love Tuesday with Freddie Coleman and Harry Douglas.
Hold on a second. There's no way you're putting a wig to cover up that beautiful hair. I will not stand for that kind of malfeasance when it comes to your hairdo, Michelle Small. You do not need a wig for that hair. No way.
But as a DJ, sometimes you need a gimmick. You know, Marshmallow wears the big marshmallow head. Wiggy Smalls. Think about all the people showing up to the show. They could wear a variety of wigs.
Yeah.
Wiggy Smalls. I love the
I just don't want a wig covering up that hair. That's just a Freddie thing right there.
Well, thank you, Freddie. I appreciate that.
Quite welcome.
But can't you see? Oh, we're going to see Wiggy Smalls play tonight. Wiggy Smalls on the ones and twos.
It definitely works. It does.
Well,
that
also,
works.
if you have like different color wigs as well.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
To really bring out the name.
Do like kind of a two-tone color a couple of times to get.
The death toll right now has climbed to 104 people, including 28 children.
Fox's Brooke Taylor in Kerr County, Texas. It's day 5 of that search. A group of doctors and public health organizations is suing Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. over vaccine policy changes.
Calling it a public health emergency that demands immediate legal action and correction. The coalition that includes the American Academy of Pediatrics filed a lawsuit in federal court in Boston over the decision to stop recommending COVID-19 vaccinations for most children and pregnant women. The lawsuit alleges Robert F. Kennedy Jr. flouted federal procedures and misled the American public.
That's Fox's Stu Guzman. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, it's Mike Rowe, and if you want to do business with a company that actually stands for something, switch to Pure Talk. I did. Sure, I appreciate being on America's most dependable 5G network with unlimited talk and text for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is Pure Talk's commitment to our military and to our skilled workforce. That matters to me. Save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
People in South Florida could soon be traveling along a stretch of roadway named for the president.
The Palm Beach County, Florida Board of Commissioners will vote later today on a proposal to rename a 4-mile section of Southern Boulevard President Donald J. Trump Boulevard. That portion of roadway runs from Palm Beach International Airport to Mar-a-Lago. A law passed by the Florida legislature requires the state's Department of Transportation to put up a sign on Southern Boulevard honoring the president, so this would just take things a step further. Addresses would still be officially located on Southern Boulevard.
It's Fox's Kevin Uretsky. 24 people are injured in a bee attack in France.
In Aurillac, in south-central France, a swarm of bees went on a 30-minute rampage. Of the 24 people who were hurt, 3 became critically ill. One 78-year-old had to be resuscitated after suffering cardiorespiratory arrest. Everyone is now said to be on the mend. The town's mayor says the incident may have been instigated by Asian hornets threatening a beehive, causing the bees to become aggressive. The hive, which was installed on a hotel roof terrace a decade ago, has been relocated out of town. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
Now look at some weather around the country.
Scattered thunderstorms will pop up across a widespread area of the Plains states, including Texas, Arkansas, and Louisiana. The heavy rain threat should lessen over areas that were impacted by catastrophic flooding over the Texas Hill Country over the next few days. Strong thunderstorms also possible along the mid-Atlantic and the Northeast today as a cold front slams into warm, unstable air. The heat ramps up over the Northwest, the High Plains, and the Southwest.
It's Fox senior meteorologist Janice Dean. Ahead of the opening bell on Wall Street, Dow futures are down 9 points. The S&P futures are up 7. NASDAQ futures up 56. I'm Chris Foster. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Investigations underway follows a deadly July 4th shooting in Champaign. It happened in the 1900 block of West Bradley Avenue Friday. Shooting victim arrived a short time later at the hospital where they were pronounced dead. No arrests have been made so far in this case. Illinois Department of Transportation reminding drivers to slow down during roadside mowing season. During the summer, IDOT conducts 2 primary types of mowing, including safety mowing directly adjacent to the road as needed. The other is maintenance mowing. The heaviest mowing operations will continue until August 15. Several people hurt. It follows 2 separate crashes on Kirby Avenue in Champaign. The first, Sunday at the intersection of 4th Street and Kirby. 3 were sent to hospitals. Not long after, another crash reported near the intersection of Kirby Avenue and State Street. 1 person was hospitalized. In that wreck, police and fire continue to investigate. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
And good morning. I'm Stevie J. There's Diane Ducey.
Hello.
This is July 8th. Meteorologist Greg Solier has joined us. Sunshine emanating across Philo, Illinois here this morning, in East Central Illinois, wherever you might be listening from. We appreciate your ears today. So, I, again, talked to the farmers today. They said they're better than they were, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. But the range was anywhere from 0.8 to 3.5 inches just around here.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. From northeast and north to south and southwest, those bigger numbers as you got down towards Lake Shelbyville and counties south of Bear Coles and Edgar counties, for example, and points towards the I-70 corridor. So that's the summertime nature of the rain beast, my friend.
Yeah, that's correct. And I looked down and would pert near, that's a good word I haven't used it, pert near halfway through summer.
Pretty much.
That's just, again, it's dizzying as you age how things tend to blur by even more.
So that means there's still at least half a summer to go around here.
Well,
that's
kind of, but I mean, it's essentially 24 days till we see the U of I come back to life, and I love it. I've been driving through campus.
Yeah, me too.
And it's a ghost town. I mean, they have the blinking red lights. No, listen. It's like 50,000, but I want that.
I do too.
We need the University of Illinois and its diversity and talent. We'll leave their politics wherever they live. That's fine. You can leave that at home. But come on in, everybody. Come on.
Exactly. And in fact, if the weather's brought to you by Carl, they're talking about the school and sports physicals to stay on top of your game. So you can get that scheduled at a location near you. Use carl.org for details.
Get scheduled and so you don't have to think about that. Don't forget. All right, meteorologist Greg Solier, sir, what say you here for our weather?
Well, a relatively comfortable morning. No big headlines going forward as an extended dry time, ample rain chances. And again, as we saw over the weekend, sometimes it's a roll of the dice, sometimes it's all or nothing. But if you do that on a cumulative basis over a 3 to 5 day or 5 to 7 day time frame, you ultimately get the rain that you need. And this time of the year, the average rain amounts typically, at least climatologically speaking, range from about 1/4 to 3/4 of an inch. And we can see obviously sometimes much lesser than that, and other times double and triple that, as was the case last weekend. So the beat goes on around here until we get some real substantial active systems off the tropical Atlantic, not just a little depression and rain systems like you had with Chantel. We keep the hot ridge to the north and west, systems over the top, or Gulf moisture influxes the area, and we get a couple of boundaries to come through, and we ebb and flow between temperatures close to normal, maybe a little below, a little above, and humidity from time to time a little more comfortable as well. So it's essentially typical mid-summertime weather going forward here over the next 7 to 10 days, if not longer. 68 now at Willard and Savoy, 66 Ogden, St. Joe, 69 Bloomington Normal, the 67 at Paxton. They have a couple of blips over the northern end of the state right now, some activity out over the western end of the state beginning to weaken, but we may flare something up on an isolated basis this afternoon. Otherwise, partly sunny skies and afternoon temperatures, again, seasonal at about 87 as winds come around. Little more southerly. We'll bottom out tonight with an evening shower thunderstorm chance, iffy again, down to about 70. Partly sunny for the day tomorrow. A little better odds late morning and afternoon for a couple of showers and thunderstorms in parts of the area. 86 there. Down to the mid-60s tomorrow night. We'll dry the air out a little bit here for the day on Thursday. Sunshine and 86. Otherwise, a couple of scattered showers and thunderstorms into the early to mid-morning and or late afternoon, early evening. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, best rain odds, if you will, are Friday to Saturday. Weekend highs of about close to 90 on Friday. Upper 80s Saturday. Middle 80s for Sunday and Monday. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Philo's sesquicentennial's coming up in a week, and the News Gazette is covering that.
Oh, good.
They wanted to know how the center of the universe began, the term, and I guess it came from our family.
Yes, it did.
Many, many years ago, we lived in India, and there was a point at a Ganges River statue or some sort of a structure that said center of the universe. Brother Greg, Brother John said, well, if we got a shovel and we dug through, we'd come out and Philo.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny said they later checked that, and that's accurate. Within 3,000 miles either way.
Oh, okay.
So, kind of.
I mean, kind of.
Could be, Sacramento.
That's
Could be Maine. It's kind of close. Anyway, so we said that because I got a chance many years ago to. They say, who are you? I said, I'm Stevie J. I'm from Philo, the center of the universe. And it just kind of took off. Thelma Malone called me into M&M Engravers, and she was on I don't know if she was the village mayor at that time or on the trustees.
Right.
She said, we're going to put her up there.
Okay.
She said, we're going to put her up there. I said, put what up? Where? She said, we're going to paint it on the water tower, center of the universe. I said, you are? Wow. And then since there's been, merch, sweatshirts and things like that.
Yes, there has. And it's been mentioned, I feel like Bill Geist or someone.
Bill Geist in his book, one of his books, Bill Geist said, Stevie J says Philo's the center of the universe. But he's just kidding. That's what he said.
Right.
And then another man who wrote a book about Illinois, he walked to every single town in Illinois. But ours had a picture of the tower saying center of the universe.
Okay.
And so, and it's been a lot of fun because people would call and say, well, wait a minute, what about Savoy? What about, I said, you're a wonderful suburb.
Okay.
Tolano.
That sounds like something you'd say.
Fantastic suburb.
Okay.
So we've had a lot of fun with it. And now our radio station's in Philo. And so that means that we have per capita, most radio stations on Earth, one radio station for every 400 people.
Okay.
So feeling pretty solid about that.
With our 4 stations, US 105.9, Q96, Christian FM 95.3, and here on ESPN 93.5.
Yeah,
I love it.
Anyway, it's a fun deal, and Johnny was youth director at the Centennial 50 years ago. And 125, I remember being here for that, and now 150, so where does the time go?
Yes.
Where does the time go? All right, 7:13. Coming up on the All-Star break next week, the home run derby and the game and all that. The guys that are superstars don't really get a break. The other players get like 3 days off.
It doesn't seem very fair.
Well, I mean, it's an honor.
But it is an honor.
It's an honor. They named the starters. I think the Cubs have 2 of the outfield. They have Pete Crow Armstrong and, they got Tucker, don't they? Justin Tucker?
Oh, they do?
They got 1 more. They got 2 of the outfield. The Cardinals have Brendan Donovan. Brendan Donovan is a substitute.
Okay.
You have to have 1 player from every team. And I know Brendan Donovan is one of the guys called later by the managers. Usually the World Series or the National League champions, American League champions, I think, are the managers if they still do it that way. Anyway, a little break in baseball, but on we go here for this week.
Yes, and we'll start with Washington Nationals are in Busch Stadium to face St. Louis, and here's your recap of all that.
The Redbird Recap is sponsored by Helitech Waterproofing and Foundation Repair. Heal your home with Helitech.
After an off day yesterday, the Cardinals are back at tonight. They're at home as they match up against the Washington Nationals. The Cardinals just lost 2 of 3 to the Chicago Cubs. Over the 2 losses, they allowed 22 runs. Sonny Gray on the mound tonight. He comes in with an 8-3 record, a 3.51 ERA. He's 2-1 with a 5.14 ERA in 9 career appearances against the Nationals. Jake Irvin will start for Washington. He comes into the game 7-3 with a 4.71 ERA. This will be the first game for former Cardinal Miguel Cairo serving as the Nationals interim manager. He takes over for Davey Martinez, who was recently let go. Cairo spent parts of 4 seasons with the Cardinals from 2001 to 2003 and then again in 2007. Over 255 games, he had a .301 batting average, .645 first pitch, our coverage at .550. For the St. Louis Cardinals Radio Network, I'm Matt Pauley.
Is your home showing symptoms of foundation issues? Your home's wet basement, dingy crawl space, musty smells, cracked walls, or unlevel concrete shouldn't be ignored. Helitech can help. Life happens in your home. You and your family deserve the best. Helitech offers proven solutions in waterproofing, drainage, concrete leveling, and foundation repair services. Contact us for a free inspection at helitechonline.com.
When the water's high, we'll keep your basement dry. Heal your home with Helitech.
Cubs are in Minnesota to face the Twins with the 6:40 start over on US 105.9. Toronto beat the Chicago White Sox 8-4, and that series continues at 6:40. Looks like Tyrese Halliburton will miss next season with that torn Achilles. He's had some medical, surgeries and things like that going on. We also are hearing that Coach Brett Bielema, our head football coach, is one of 26 top college football coaches and one of 5 in the Big Ten to be nominated for that Bobby Dodd Trophy list as Coach of the Year. So
amazing.
We see how that only programmed to return 18 starters from that bowl game.
Well, no, I know. And you know, this is just don't feel bad. Because you're going, because we don't do 2 seasons in a row.
I know.
I have the statistical data here that Illinois doesn't go to bowl games in consecutive years. Why? Nobody knows.
Brett Bielema has got some things.
I'm telling you what.
On.
You want a Butkus statue? You want a Brett statue?
How
Come on,
about
man.
it? Let's bring it.
It's just been hard. John Makovic was the last guy. In fact, John Makovic was here 3 seasons, and he has the best winning percentage in the history of Illinois.
Okay.
And he's with Jeff George. Stevie J might have had.
Yeah.
I mean, Jeff George was the quarterback, and we were like 9 and 10 wins. I mean, that was the. But it's just Mike White. You just keep going through the Ron Turner, Ron Zook, Rose Bowl, and then to nothing.
I know.
So we're all the people, the townies, the people that have history. We know that it's like nervous. Now, you come out and you win me some games, and we're going to a bowl. I can't. I mean. It's just too lofty for me because I just protect myself.
Just trying to not get your hopes up too high.
Well, you just they're thinking within the building. They think they're a top 12 team. That's playoffs. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, I'm all for it. But I've been burned and hurt so many times over the decades that it's like this. You get this fired up here, Rose Bowl, and then nothing.
And we
Sugar
finished
Bowl,
last
then
season
nothing.
at number 16 in the AP.
I know. Now, if Brett Bielema can do this, I mean, John Makovic, you can say, well, he did. Well, that's Jeff George. I give them. The guy was here briefly, went to Texas. It didn't work out great. All that. I'm just saying that if Brett Bielema can do that, he'll become a unique human figure, historic figure, if he's able to go to a bowl. And I had said 2 years ago, I think we're going to go bowl every year. He's here.
Okay.
And we went 2 years ago, and then we did 5 and 7. And then we do the citrus thing. The whole walk across the field thing, it was really awesome. And the South Carolina coach, Brett lives in his head probably still. Anyway,
probably so.
I can't tell you how hopeful I am, but I do understand that we got some history to break through and bust and get ahead.
Yes.
Time for weather brought to you by the Urbana Park District.
And they remind you neighborhood nights will be tomorrow night at Crestview Park, and that'll be Bossy Nova on stage. Also, Thursday the 10th at King Park is their neighborhood parties from 5:30 to 7. UrbanaParks.org for
All right,
details.
check your Fox Business Minute. I got a clip from Charlie Kirk that you want to hear about the illegals. Stand by for that.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign, Urbana, and vicinity. Pretty much a quiet, easy-going July weather pattern. No extreme heat or humidity. No big headlines going forward on dryness or drought either. A little dry around the edges, but be able to make amends on that with almost a daily mention of a shower and thunderstorm at a couple of spots. Much like today, isolated in nature this afternoon. Some patchy fog this morning. Partly sunny otherwise. Light wind up to 87. Down to near 70 tonight. A bit of a muggier night with a stray shower thunderstorm this evening. Tomorrow, partly sunny, a shower thunderstorm in spots for the morning and again for the afternoon. Highs up to 86, down to the mid-60s tomorrow night, and slightly drier air, sunshine, seasonal warm for the day on Thursday at 86. Back into warmth and humidity. Highs close to 90 with a couple of showers and thunderstorms breaking out Friday, especially in the afternoon, and scattered stuff for the weekend at 87 on Saturday, middle 80s on Sunday, 88 next Monday, back into scattered showers and thunderstorms the middle part of next week as well. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Take charge of the years ahead with a smart, sound investment strategy and business succession plan. Busey Bank's business and wealth management experts help you envision your best future with powerful insights and proven strategies. Building business and growing wealth since 1868, Busey Bank, proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Charles Payne, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Small business optimism cooled last month. The National Federation of Independent Business says its optimism index nudged lower in June to a reading of 98.6. Chief economist Bill Dunkelberg says taxes remain the top issue on Main Street, but many others are concerned about labor quality and high labor costs, and uncertainty remains elevated. Crude oil prices have been moderating. ExxonMobil says that will impact its earnings that come out August 1st. Its profit could see a hit of more than $1 billion from lower crude prices. Samsung is predicting its profit for the first half of the year will slump, down by half from year-ago numbers. Samsung says it's being impacted by U.S. trade restrictions on China. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola, invested in you.
Stay on top of the latest forecast with America's Weather Team in the palm of your hands.
Here's the latest from America's Weather Center.
It's Fox weather updates throughout your busy day, every day.
That heat's going to be out there for one more day.
Temperatures being 30 degrees above average.
Put the power of over 100 meteorologists and the worldwide resources of Fox in your hands with the Fox Weather Podcast. Precise, personal, powerful. Subscribe and listen now at foxnewspodcasts.com.
Well, if you're ready to sell your home and want it sold quickly and for the most money possible, you can call Nate Evans. In her 5-star review, Michelle says that the agents at the Nate Evans Group are local experts that are deeply rooted in the community and fully committed to serving their clients at the highest level.
Talk about deeply rooted in the community. I see them a lot of events, very active, and they're not inexperienced agents either. So if you're looking to maybe get a quote, you can visit that Nate Evans Group online and see home value. Plus, they've got a coming soon program. There's a lot of different options as you get the process started. Nate Evans of the Nate Evans Group with eXp Realty can get you that immediate cash offer on your home. If you're looking at a more hurried timeline, you can sell your home for the most money possible. As you call the only agent I would call if I needed to sell my home, it's Nate Evans, 217-239-7113. Just do an online search to Nate Evans Group and start packing.
Sell your home with the Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to theNateEvansGroup.com.
Former Illini Terrence Shannon Jr. of the Minnesota Timberwolves about Ben Quattrone from Sarah Champagne.
What kind of friend has he been?
Unbelievable. Ever since I came to this dealership, me and Ben had interactions. He's been a great person this whole time. It still is. I always would recommend him to anybody about a car or anything. He's always going to be there for you no matter what. He always be behind you. He's just a great person.
Visit sarahchampagne.com. That's SERRA champagne.com. Well, tell me, Tim Onstadt, how is it going at Gale Frericks Trucking?
Oh, we're busy. We're going gangbusters. We've got a new driver going through orientation. That leaves us one spot left for somebody that wants to get in on the action and make some money, be home, get some quality time. It's a great opportunity.
And the type of person you like hiring?
Honesty, integrity, like everybody else is looking for. That guy that wants to have a family life, but be able to make some good money and do the right things.
Are you looking for experienced drivers? And if they have a military background and things like that, that's always an asset.
We do need some experience. Of course, we like getting the guys 15 years in that know what they're doing, maybe have been treated bad by other companies and need a place looking for a home. If somebody has the basics, maybe a year and a half, has a military background, I'll count that as some experience because they're used to following the process. Oh, you can always email me at timo@gftlog.com.
At Pards in Urbana, the boots just keep on coming. They're known for their huge collection of men's cowboy boots, women's cowgirl boots, kids' boots, and even shoes. If you're searching for top footwear brands, look no further than Pards. They carry a wide variety, including Ariat, Dan Post, Smoky Mountain, Roper, Double H, and more. And if socks or accessories are what you need, they've got all your high-quality essentials. Since 1968, Pards has been serving their customers with high-quality merchandise. And if you haven't been to Pards in a while, a lot has changed. Go check them out just off University Avenue in Urbana.
All right. First thing is 104 now have died from that horrible Texas flash flood. It is just absolutely brutal. Johnny, is it a Ninth Ward moment? I mean, is it possible that maybe we don't do Mystic anymore for camps? I mean, it is Kerrville, Texas is prone to flooding. They've had events in 1932, 1978, 87, sudden flash flood there, killing 10 teens. 2002, stalled rainstorm dumped 35 inches in parts of the hill country. 2015, heavy rainfall, killing 13. And of course, this most recent, most horrific one. And nobody's ever seen the flooding that occurred there. But I don't know what else to do, because I wouldn't feel comfortable sending my kids or grandkids to that camp simply because of the history of it. I don't know. Is that too extreme to say you can't go there anymore?
Well, I don't think anyone will say you can't go there anymore.
Or maybe they shouldn't have it.
They may or may not. I mean, first of all, with that happening, it's kind of takes some of the luster off it. Even if you know it's never going to happen again, it becomes somewhat of a memorial. And the Ninth Ward's coming back. There's people living
in this.
Sure.
I thought it was a floodable place that was destined.
New Orleans is a floodable place, and so are about
how low below sea level?
7 feet or something.
Yeah,
but the quarter is a little higher, 9 feet up or something.
Well, when I'm on my partner's porch at a certain time of the year, we watch the ships go by. They're about 10 feet above our heads.
Oh my goodness!
So just kick back and hope the levee doesn't break.
So you're saying that, but they banned the Ninth Ward for development for a while after Katrina, right?
Well, I don't know that that's true. Brad Pitt went down there and built all these fancy houses right after Katrina.
On stilts? I don't know why you do that.
This is it. You got to have the levee. There's no stilts. I mean, it'd be that'd be.
But the levee broke in Katrina.
Correct. So you can't have the levee break, and if you are willing to take the risk, it's fine. Place to live.
I think that again,
in the Texas case, I can't tell you. I would say that there'll be people going back there just like they did in North Carolina.
But it just sounds like no matter what you do, you might not have enough time. As fast as this came up, it's unbelievable.
No, that's right. I think
and again, they have 100-year history. But the good news is there's a lot of Christian camps around the country where you could go and still not be far from home.
No,
I don't know.
I don't think you can.
They're talking about alarm systems and the people that live in Kerrville. I mean, they were always there's a lot of houses there, and most died from that. But the 25 kids and the 104 total, it's just one of those things where maybe we shouldn't develop much there or have the camp there anymore. I don't know.
You could go through the United States and find a whole lot of places where something like that can happen. Look at the fires. People still build their house on the hill right after the smoke clears.
Yeah.
And I don't think you start banning here and there, but will they go back there, Steve? I can't tell you. I don't know how it looks or what they could do to make sure that there was warning. There were 800 kids there.
800 kids. Unbelievable.
But they could have gone up the hill, so they didn't need a lot of time. They just didn't have any. And so
we're talking about getting out of bed at their ankles, then the door and the knees, and then it's just boom.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
They didn't have any time.
Oh.
And so there may be a way to work it. But no, it's just a shame, and what a tragedy.
Should we have amnesty? Should we have mass amnesty? I got a clip from Charlie Kirk that you're going to want to hear next. Stevie J here. With Nate Evans of eXp Realty, you'll always get a stress-free sale for the most money.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to theNateEvansGroup.com. Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Congratulations to the Village of Philo on its 150th anniversary, of which 142 of those years, Philo Exchange Bank has served the community. Join us as we celebrate 150 years of Philo on July 17th through the 20th. We have also partnered with the Champaign County History Museum to have an exhibit in our downtown Philo Bank starting July 17th. Find more information at philobank.com or on our Facebook page.
Philo Exchange Bank, hometown community banking since 1883. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Kelsey Furniture in downtown Tuscola sells Tempur-Pedic beds. What's it like?
I'm going to tell you right now, Stevie, that thing is the best thing I've ever slept on in my life. My wife and I both have said we've never had better night's sleep. And the people at Kelsey's were fantastic. Brian is the guy that helped us. You know, as much as I did my research, he had a world of knowledge about beds themselves. Oh, man, it's like sleeping on a cloud, man.
Kelsey Furniture, downtown Tuscola. If you need insurance, home, auto, life insurance, you can get with State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow. Boy, he has some good ratings. People really like him. Kurt Lenschow, State Farm Insurance, like a good neighbor. Kurt and State Farm are there. It's 7:30. We'll be right back.
Fox News, I'm CJ Pop. At least 104 people losing their lives, including 28 children. The raging flood waters in that Texas hill country. The search continues. Joyce Pierce lives in Kerrville.
I'm out here digging in piles with my friend, just hoping that maybe we can find something that reunites somebody back with their family.
The region could use a break.
You can't rule out a scattered thunderstorm isolated, but for now, it just looks like hot temperatures.
Fox's senior meteorologist Janice Dean. President Trump will be there on Friday. Officials give an update at 11 a.m. Eastern at Windsor Castle in England. The French national anthem playing as King Charles welcomes French President Emmanuel Macron, looking to rebuild their shaken relationship between the two nations. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. A 32-year-old Champaign man has died and follows a shooting Friday. Police responded to the 1900 block of West Bradley Avenue. The victim outside a business when multiple shots were fired. The investigation revealed the shooter or shooters fled the scene afterwards. Illinois Department of Transportation reminding drivers to slow down during roadside mowing season. During the summer, IDOT conducts two primary types of mowing, including safety mowing directly adjacent to the road as needed. The other is maintenance mowing. The heaviest mowing operations will continue until August the 15th. One person has died in a motorcycle crash in Tolono over the weekend. It happened on Route 45 near West Strong Street. The vehicle was a motorcycle driving through Savoy southbound on Route 45 at the time. Champaign County Sheriff's Office is assisting in the investigation. If anyone has information on this accident, you're asked to contact local police. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Jim, thank you. Weather brought to you by Kramer Siding and Window.
If you're letting your materials in the changing seasons or your roof become vulnerable, you can contact your local Owens Corning Premium Preferred Roofing Contractor at kramersiding.com.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Central Illinois, Champaign, Urbana, and vicinity. Pretty much a quiet, easy-going July weather pattern. No extreme heat or humidity. No big headlines going forward on dryness or drought either. A little dry around the edges, but be able to make amends on that with almost a daily mention of a shower thunderstorm at a couple of spots. Much like today, isolated in nature this afternoon. Some patchy fog this morning. Partly sunny otherwise. Light wind up to 87. Down to near 70 tonight. A bit of a muggier night with a stray shower thunderstorm this evening. Tomorrow, partly sunny, a shower thunderstorm in spots for the morning and again for the afternoon. Highs up to 86, down to the mid-60s tomorrow night, and slightly drier air. Sunshine, seasonal warm for the day on Thursday at 86. Back into warmth and humidity. Highs close to 90 with a couple of showers and thunderstorms breaking out Friday, especially in the afternoon, and scattered stuff for the weekend at 87 on Saturday, middle 80s on Sunday, 88 next Monday, back into scattered showers and thunderstorms the middle part of next week as well. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Here's another home improvement insight from Kramer Siding and Window, a proud member of Prairie Home Alliance. A new front door can instantly upgrade the look of your home and make it more energy efficient. The Kramer Siding and Window team can also install French doors to your deck or patio, welcoming the outside in, or storm doors for an extra layer of protection against the elements. The estimate is free, financing is available, and the business is local. Schedule your beautiful new door today and save 25%. Call us, click on kramersiding.com, or visit the showroom in Champaign.
1980s, Ronald Reagan had an amnesty program for some illegal people. And apparently that's out there. Charlie Kirk talking about that on his podcast show. Here you go.
We're going to be able to have now the largest deportation effort ever. Yes, in theory. But in practice, there's something else afoot. Literally, the day before President Donald Trump was signing the big, beautiful bill, I got a couple phone calls from people that you would call members of the ruling class. A lot of money and a lot of connections. They said, Charlie, isn't this amazing? We passed the big, beautiful bill. I said, oh, yes, sir. And they said, now we need mass amnesty. I said, what? I said, we haven't even signed the bill yet. They said, yeah, these deportations, we're going to lose the midterms because of the deportations. The people on the right, they'll understand. And we need to come to the middle, and we need to legalize the 25 million people here in this country. I was speechless. Because here I am actually thinking, a little naive, we're going to sign this big, beautiful bill, and we're actually going to get mass deportations uninterrupted from an asymmetrical attack. So we have somewhere between 20 to 50 million illegal aliens in this country. We don't actually know the numbers. These are all guesstimates. These are all just approximations. And there is a movement afoot as I am doing this broadcast. And this is bigger than anything with Epstein. This is bigger than anything with tax cuts. It is happening right now in Washington, D.C. And I can say this from firsthand experience, that people are pushing President Trump for amnesty. They are pushing him for mass legalization of illegals. Now, President Donald Trump, of course, would never push for amnesty. But President Donald Trump said something at a rally on July 3rd, and my phone lit up like you wouldn't imagine.
A few days ago.
President Donald Trump was talking about potentially doing a bipartisan compromise deal for illegals that have stolen Social Security numbers, that are illegally domiciling themselves here in the country, that are all felons. Every single one of them are felons. They're just not yet indicted felons. But if they're here illegally, you're a felon. It's against federal law. We've gone through all the different federal laws that you break by being here. And this is President Donald Trump speaking at the Iowa rally saying that we might need to do some form, he didn't use the word amnesty, but some form of soft amnesty. And I could tell you now through other reporting that I've been able to do and phone calls, there is a major push right now to do a bipartisan amnesty deal, a major push. People are trying to push the president. Hey, you got the money for ICE. Now we need to go move to the middle on immigration.
Here's the clip.
Play cut 258.
People have worked for on a farm for 14, 15 years, and they get thrown out pretty viciously, and we can't do it. We got to work with the farmers and people that have hotels and leisure properties too. We're going to work with them, and we're going to work very strong and smart, and we're going to put you in charge. We're going to make you responsible, and I think that that's going to make a lot of people happy. Now, serious radical right people, who I also happen to like a lot, they may not be quite as happy, but they'll understand, won't they? Do you think they'll understand that? You're the one that brought this whole situation up. Brooke Rollins brought it up, and she said, so we have a little problem. The farmers are losing a lot of people, and we figured it out, and we have some great stuff being written, and let the farmers be responsible.
Okay, well, Johnny, what do you think?
No, I'm all for, well, we're not going to deport 25 million people.
Right.
Okay, so what do? Well, first of all, you've got a situation where these illegals, quote unquote, and they are breaking the law, but no one was enforcing it, and they were invited in by the president. Now, well, the president has no authority. Yeah, because the Congress hasn't done their job for 50 years. All these things come from a Congress that's slowly ground to a halt and hasn't got anything done in terms of a day-to-day practical thing. It's all politics now, and it's as bad as it's ever been as far as a functional Congress. So the presidency has gotten to be a king. It isn't Trump. It's the president of the United States has more and more executive orders, and one has been, come on in. So how are you going to be criminalized when the president of your country and the ruling party takes you in, gives you money? So there is a little bit of an asterisk on criminal there, because I would have done it. Oh, I'd have come over here.
I would have come over.
Taken their money.
You have your family, and
absolutely.
Now I would have voted Republican after I heard what the Democrats are saying, but still, and I shouldn't even been voting, but that's okay too.
But how do you sift through the good from the bad?
Well, I think you can go with how long they've been here. For
right.
one.
And so Reagan, when Ronald Reagan did it in '86, there was 100,000 families that were immediately affected by all of this. So I was just looking up granting deferred of deportation of minor children under 18 living with parents. It also, when it comes to looking for how much time, it just says living in the United States for an extended period.
Yeah, it says that Ronald Reagan had it where it was like 4 years. If you've been living here for 4 years or longer, then you can apply for this, and they called it the IRCA, the Immigration Reform and Control Act. That Ronald Reagan did this in the 80s. And Johnny's right. You're not going to deport. We don't even have a clue what the number is.
Well, don't forget that with this sudden change in our immigration policy and ability to enforce it, we can deal with the existing migration, the people who've already come in a little different perspective. Because if you start doing that and they're still saying, come on in, you're going to get double the people crossing the border.
So
we can't handle all. So now we got the people in here. Okay, and they have to go through every individual when they're deported anyway, right? So you go through every case and you have certain parameters, and these folks are eligible for whatever reason. And then they'll keep their job and start paying the taxes, which some of them are anyway. And they'll get a real social.
But isn't the key to everything that we failed so miserably at is stopping the leak in the boat?
Yes.
We never stopped it.
No.
You know, the $180 billion for ICE and the border, you think we'd be able to control it like we're controlling now.
They didn't even need that, Steve. It's shut down.
Well, now we really ought to be able to shut down every portion of our border in America where we're not open. So it'll be. Would it be bipartisan in today's politics?
Well, it doesn't matter because Trump's going to do it. Because
but don't you think the Democrats would be wise to jump on this?
They aren't wise. They should have done this. They should have done this for the Dreamers on the big beautiful bill, so they could get some credit and not look like children.
They had a chance to do it for the Dreamers.
They could have gone to Trump and said, listen, I know you're having trouble with these. We'll vote for this, but we want a way to citizenship for the Dreamers. The Dreamers are the kids who were born, who were brought here when they were underage.
5.
And now they've grown up and they got to be deported. Well, wait a minute. And so Trump was probably open to that. Now he's going to go with some sort of amnesty because he probably figures the Democrats will fight him on it.
Wow.
And then they're done. And it's a chance for the moderates to go in and with Trump and make a deal and start to erode this disease they've got with these progressives that are going to sink them.
I can hear him now, though. The Democrats are going, he wants to pick and choose winners. It's all or nothing.
Yeah. No, right. So that's fine. That's what, and then he can do what we're talking about, which is a rational approach to a problem that try to be fair about it.
But would the Democrats hold together on a deal? I don't think they would. I think they would vote for this. If you have a logical, reasonable, this farm worker for 20 years has been a good person and done a good job, no crimes, all of that.
Yeah, well, they need to do that. And again, it's an opportunity for the moderates to break away
from them.
They're in a straitjacket.
Yeah.
And now they can say this and say, well, I'm voting for this. You say what you want. We're done.
Okay.
And finally, maybe it'll start to shift back to more reasonable approach. But I think politically, it's the right thing to do, to be honest. And politically, it's a great move for Trump right now.
All right, 217-359-2255. That's our Fisher National Bank text line. If you have any thoughts about, I hadn't heard a word about this.
Right.
But
I was just reading more about Reagan's amnesty law, and the one fatal flaw is they stripped out any punishments or financial penalties for employers who continued to hire illegal immigrants. Now, DeSantis is talking about in Florida pushing a legislation requiring businesses to have an E-Verify system. So at least we start some documentation.
Well, and can I require them to speak the language? Can't I say you must speak English?
First, that could be. I don't know if you can require anyone to speak the language. You could, but I don't think that's going to sell.
We did before. I mean, we assimilate into what we're doing versus having to have neighborhoods that you can't go in because it's our neighborhood. Well, you can't do that.
Again, they're going to assimilate. That in the 1800s, you had your Puerto Ricans, your Italians, your Armenians.
But we don't push the language anymore. And I think English should be the language of America.
That everyone will eventually assimilate. You just have to stop the uncontrolled immigration.
Yeah.
You're right. That's step one.
Yeah.
If we shut the border, then we can all become Americans.
Yeah.
And we can have new people come in every year. We're allowed 2 million.
And the bad guys can still go to Alligator Island,
Yeah,
Alcatraz, Alligator. The bad ones are the bad ones, and
Right.
we do want them.
And that's pretty easy to find out. And
Yeah.
you're still going to have people who just don't want to be on radar and pay
Yeah.
taxes, but that's a whole nother issue.
Well, he said my far right people won't like this, even though I love them. I mean, he's essentially kind of giving them a heads up that there's some people here that now maybe what would that feel like to be kind of in the shadows for 20 years and be able to come out?
Yeah,
I'm an American.
that I have to have some empathy for the people who were told. You can say, oh, Biden's a criminal. You can say that if you want, because he told them to come in when they're not supposed to.
Yeah.
But I can't blame those people 100% when I'd want to come into America and the president says, come on, yeah, let's go.
Right. We are getting comments. Earned amnesty. 1, no criminal activity. 2, high school civics course. 3, pass a citizenship test. 4, learn to speak English. I feel like that was the proper path, right? That these things were required when people were trying to become citizens, right?
They are.
And then Kelly's comment is, as far as amnesty goes, I don't think anybody came in illegally, were able to get citizenship from the United States. They came over illegally and enjoyed our infrastructure and tried to get in on all the free stuff we paid for all our life. No amnesty. Green cards, maybe. Thank you, guys.
Okay, another one. You're suddenly now for due process? ?
Okay. Well, due process. It's hard to have due process when there's no process.
Right.
And so you've got to start somewhere. And I think it's right at the border. Okay, we're done with because amnesty and green cards and any kind of program to give people a chance is an incentive to come across the border.
Yeah.
Anything that you're going to do to be, I can get in that way. They have this program. You're going to come. So if you can't stop that, you can't do anything without just basically disintegrating into masses and masses of people coming in, and you just lose control.
Yep.
So
well, I mean, again, as shocked as I was to learn that's out there. Again, Johnny's right. Not deporting 25 million people. It's just not going to happen.
Well, and Trump, I've heard him. I've been talking about this since he said that, and I was like, that's a good move. And I was surprised that the moderates didn't jump in on the.
Well, again,
because they could have said we got 10 votes. We want to wait it, and
you're risking a Democrat that would vote for any bipartisan with Donald J. Trump is risking cancellation.
But are they really? Or are they just scared?
They're scared.
Yeah.
But you want AOC and Bernie and all these people?
Yeah, but they aren't in those districts, Steve. We're talking about across the country in Democratic districts, like in Illinois or in Kansas, and Montana. And I just don't know why they won't move away. And I guess you're right. They'll be ostracized, won't get committee positions and whatnot. But they got to make a move, because what they got right now, they're not going to have anything.
Yeah, and some think it's going to take you said this, we're going to take a midterm blasting to make people, we're doing it wrong. This is a mess. We got to change.
Well,
that kind of thing.
Some sort of program to deal with, I guess, compassionately with the people who are here. Should finish the Democrats off for the midterms. But if we hardline it, Steve, I think that the Democrats would have a chance over this issue.
Right.
Immigration got Trump in.
Yeah.
And this deal, what do you do with the immigrated people now, might get them all out. So it's a big problem.
I think there was a plan. I thought of Reagan's, but I didn't read it. But that there was a fine of some kind that wasn't a huge fine, that you had to just say, we did something wrong.
I think you earn your way in, and maybe it is a process where you apply and do what you're supposed to do, and you can work your way in. It's not what you'd call fair. You're going to hear it's not fair to all the 7.5 billion people who haven't gone in here yet.
Right.
But
no, I would just really look forward to the Democratic position on this, because it's just a slam dunk.
No, it's the final theft of everything they've got. All they've got is, we've got to have the guys playing on the girls' teams and in the restrooms. That's all they got left. So they need to just wake up and come to their senses, because we need the two parties.
No, I know. 217-359-2255. You want to text in your thoughts, you are welcome to do so as we check Greg's weather. Watts Copy Systems, they offer cost-efficient solutions to your busy office. If you're interested in a free evaluation to save some money, call Watts Copy Systems, 217-352-0428. And weather brought to you by Busey for over 155 years. Member FDIC.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Florida, Champaign, Urbana, and vicinity. Pretty much par for the course. Early July weather continues on. Temperatures in check. Humidity once in a while up and elevated. And from time to time, we'll muster up a couple of showers and thunderstorms. Otherwise, a pretty easy going stretch here in the days to come. Up to 87 today. A little fog patch around this morning. A partly sunny midday and afternoon. Also includes a shower thunderstorm in spots for the afternoon. Isolated in coverage. Light wind. Again, topping out around 87 today. Down to 69 to 74 tonight. Stray shower thunderstorm this evening. The rain odds tomorrow bumped up to 40% and 30% tomorrow night. Partly sunny skies otherwise. 86 tomorrow, about the mid-60s tomorrow night. And slightly drier with sunshine for the day on Thursday. The high around 86. And again, a couple of showers and thunderstorms scattered each day Friday through the weekend. Daytime readings close to 90 on Friday. Upper 80s for the weekend. Muggy overnight lows will bottom out in the upper 60s to mid-70s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
On Tuesdays, we call Dr. Todd Likens, the pet pro, Madison Kirby in Champaign, veterinarian. Yeah, I sent this thing about Urbana Park District warning about ticks.
Yes.
Wow. Tell me what you know.
Well, we've been talking about since spring that they're just a higher incidence of ticks, and populations are obviously thriving in certain areas, and we're seeing more and more. And because people are going to the parks and things like that, and there's tall grasses there where they like to be. And so naturally, when you walk your dog and he goes out there, he's going to pick some up and bring them back. Or the ticks get on, get a blood meal, and get off, and then there's more babies. One next generations are coming. So it's a good idea to make sure you got tick prevention. I had a dog last week who suddenly lost vision. And the ophthalmology at the U of I finally decided it was a tick-borne illness type situation.
Man.
So these things are treatable, but you got to be on top of your game. You got to check the dogs for ticks and yourself for ticks when you've been in areas where they're at, like around rivers.
But you're talking, in your case, with people with multiple dogs and you with a herd, how do you possibly put your fingers on all that?
I don't. That's why I count on the tick protection. And the other tip off, the early tick signs are very vague. Your dog is just off. So you got to have a kind of a good vibe on your dog's personality and awareness if you've seen a tick. But yeah, in a herd situation like mine, there's no way I'm going to be able to do all my dogs.
Right. But you do have to be really alert because this is serious stuff, and for people too, you have to
correct.
That.
This is how people get Lyme's disease, and we all know that's a very devastating thing.
Yeah. Okay, that's good heads up. But I think Champaign-Urbana, we have a lot of ticks right now, so just be knowledgeable about that.
You know, and when I came, I was in my early days. I was in North Carolina practicing, and I saw a lot of ticks and Rocky Mountain spotted fever and things like that when I was down there. Came back here, and there was really no tick problems back in the day. So it's just changed that much over time that they've slowly migrated this way. And we still don't have a lot of Lyme's disease in the area, but it's coming from the north down through deer and things like that. So eventually we're going to have to be more vigilant for Lyme's disease and things.
Yeah. All right, Dr. Todd, how can people reach you?
Well, Miss Taylor, I think, is on the phones already, 217-355-5051. Texting is the best way to get a hold of her.
And you can get a really, really good dog wash, folks, and it's very inexpensive. And you had 50-some before the 4th, didn't you?
Yeah, we had a lot. Fireworks pictures last week, this week.
Yeah.
Dogs are going home with picnic pictures. Yes. So if you want to, your dog on
that's awesome.
I think they're calling it a pupnik, not a picnic. So
there you go.
All right, my friend. Thank you.
All right, see you guys.
Another amnesty text. Along with amnesty program, how about instant deportation for anybody who's harboring an illegal immigrant that's avoiding the amnesty type program?
Yeah, you can't do that. That would be an American citizen probably, which
right.
you do have to have due process. The due process thing, an illegal immigrant isn't entitled to our constitutional due processes.
Well, they have a due process in the immigration law.
They have
It's
an
a
immigration
right.
due process, which is you have a hearing.
Yeah.
The guy they wanted the due process had 2 hearings and was found to be
Yeah.
illegally deported
Yeah.
twice,
Right.
and they just simply deported him. So they really picked a bad one to go to fight that hill, because they just got blown away on that.
Well, I'm going to be looking forward to this as it evolves, and then see the kind of bad wiring. The Democrats are going to be so confused.
Well, you got
what are they going to do?
So there are a lot of very smart people who are Democrats. Somebody's going to have to speak up because you can't. What are they doing when you vote 100% that guys can play on girls' teams? Seriously. Oh, I'm tired of hearing that. No, I'm not tired of saying it, because that's insane. And then you've got this illegal guy who had been deported and was actually a gang member, and they went to the mat for the guy as if he was an innocent victim, entitled to due process like Diane, Stevie J, and I are entitled to due process as a citizen. Oh, maybe you better appreciate that. Guess what? Everybody doesn't have that in the world. Almost nobody has that on this planet.
Well, I predict it's all or nothing, and he's picking and choosing winners and losers, and how dare the president not include everybody in this?
Well, that's fine.
Discriminate.
I think that's part of, I
don't know what else
I
they're
think
gonna
Trump does actually have a sense of what's just and what isn't.
Yeah.
But he's very political in terms of his astute. He wants them to do that. So he's playing them like a piano lately. And they just won't stop. And that's why, there's got to be people like Harold Ford Jr. who are saying it, but he's not really in the arena.
Right.
And Fetterman needs to say, okay, we're done. Yeah. This has gone far enough.
If there was ever a time for Fetterman to vote for something off the Democrats, it was the big, beautiful
And there's
bill.
he didn't. There's a huge constituency that's going to go. It's not going to be to Elon, who can't really run for anything, because he can be a senator, but he's not going to do that. He's not interested. Yeah, right. So it's hard for him, who's not willing to say run for president or able to start a party, but because the money is necessary, but it isn't the only thing that
All
you
right.
need.
Are you hanging out? You're leaving.
I've got to head out, Stevie. We're going to St. Louis and flying to New Orleans. So, but we're coming back next week.
Good.
Sesquicentennial.
150. Got a picture of what? A couple hundred people.
Couple hundred people at the hill.
150 on the hill.
Thanks for being part of that and bringing Margaret.
And Mayor Franks has a snow hill in Philo.
That's the hill we were on.
Mayor Franks.
It's a great hill, man.
That's right.
Sledding.
And I tell you, I know we're going to have a great event down at the ballpark with the fire and have food and music.
Yeah, that's right. 90s
but
daughter.
I think you're going to have a lot of people on this hill by about 9
Great
o'clock.
view,
That's
huh?
right.
How tall is the hill?
It's boy, I'll tell you what, it's got to be 30 or
Pretty good
plus
slope,
feet.
huh?
30 plus, and a good angle for sledding.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, it's amazing. I hadn't, we needed a retention pond.
Yeah.
And they dug out the dirt, and it was going to cost to move the dirt.
Right.
And Mayor Frank said, wait a minute. Let's
just
make
leave it.
a snow hill.
That's right.
So they planted grass, and it's really a very nice spot.
So fireworks on June 20th as the finale, brought to you by JBK Farms LLC.
Yeah, thank you, Johnny. That's good.
Well,
stuff.
we had a lot of support for this now, Steve. And Rod Swihart, I have to thank him. But I think it'll be fun.
Convincing.
It's going to be a good.
Well, pretty persistent. Rob was pretty persistent, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Anyway, it's awesome, and great work by so many great volunteers. All right, Johnny, thank you.
All right, Stevie J,
Talk
Diane.
soon.
Take care. Thanks for being part of the show.
News coming up.
Nate Evans of the Nate Evans Group, thanks for coming into our studio and discussing the experience about buying your first home. What are the first steps you should take, and how can your team help at Nate Evans Group?
Yeah, I mean, buying your first home can be super scary. Maybe not even scary is the right word. It's just a lot of unknown. So I think the important item for somebody to find is clarity on what that looks like. So if I was a first-time home buyer, I'm probably calling the Nate Evans Group, and I'm going to ask to speak with one of the local experts in there that's specific to the area they're trying to search. And we're going to sit down with them. We can keep it super easy. We usually do it over the phone first, and then we can do an in-person meeting at a house that they choose or they like. And we'll talk them through next steps, pre-approvals, refining criteria, and then next thing you know, we're finding houses off market for them that don't exist, because that seems to be a challenge for a lot of buyers right now.
Call the only agent I would call if I needed to sell my home. It's Nate Evans at 217-239-7113. Do an online search to Nate Evans Group and start packing.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
The search continues this morning. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. 5 days since flash flooding hit central Texas. Crews are digging through debris looking for the dozens still missing. Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick went to a flooded summer camp and spoke with someone who saved as many girls as he could.
The water went from his ankles to his knee to his neck so fast, and that the girls were holding on to him. And before he knew it, he was just pushed by the water.
At least 105 deaths now, we're told, are reported in Texas. President Trump says he's going to send more weapons to Ukraine.
Russian air assaults are getting heavier and more complex, and President Trump says Ukraine deserves more help.
We're going to send some more weapons. We have to. They have to be able to defend themselves. They're getting hit very hard now.
This promise comes just days after the Pentagon announced it would hold back the supply of some air defense missiles out of concern U.S. stockpiles were too low. The Kremlin assessing what it describes as contradictory statements.
I'm not happy with President Putin at all.
President Trump spoke to the Russian leader last week, but reported they'd made no progress towards ending the war. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
The president holds a cabinet meeting this morning.
That's going to be the president's 6th cabinet meeting later on today, and it follows a dinner he had last night with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, where he surprised the president with a formal nomination for the Nobel Peace Prize.
I want to present to you, Mr. President, the letter I sent to the Nobel Prize Committee.
Two leaders celebrated the U.S. strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities. President Trump revealing that talks with Iran may happen in the next week or so. He also floated the prospect of taking sanctions off Iran, of course, only at the right time, in order to facilitate rebuilding in a peaceful manner. He said the country is in a lot different place than it was just 2 weeks ago.
That's Fox's Jackie Heinrich at the White House. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, it's Mike Rowe, and if you want to do business with a company that actually stands for something, switch to Pure Talk. I did. Sure, I appreciate being on America's most dependable 5G network with unlimited talk and text for just $20 a month. But what I really appreciate is Pure Talk's commitment to our military and to our skilled workforce. That matters to me. Save 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say keyword Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, a wireless company that actually stands for something.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Planned Parenthood will continue to receive Medicaid payments for now per a federal judge's order.
Planned Parenthood suing over President Trump's domestic policy bill, alleging a provision which blocks Medicaid users from coverage with a health care provider that also provides abortion services is unconstitutional. In the complaint, it argues the provision could force nearly 200 of its health centers in 24 states to close, with more than 90% in states where abortion is legal.
It's Fox's Kristen Goodwin. Former President Biden's doctor is asking to delay his testimony in in a congressional investigation.
A letter from Dr. Kevin O'Connor's lawyer cites patient privilege concerns as a justification to delay his deposition until the end of July or early August. The House Oversight Committee has issued a subpoena for testimony from President Biden's former physician as part of the GOP investigation into an alleged cover-up of the former president's mental decline and his use of the AutoPen during his term. The committee says O'Connor can use the privilege on a question-by-question basis, but can't use it to delay his transcribed interview. Former President Biden has fiercely denied unknowingly signing any documents or making any major decisions. On Capitol Hill, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
Sean Diddy Combs is a virtual post-trial hearing today where he could find out when he'll be sentenced on 2 transportation to engage in prostitution charges. An NBA All-Star will be off the court for a while.
The Indiana Pacers president of basketball operations, Kevin Pritchard, said Tyrese Halliburton will not play next season after suffering a torn right Achilles tendon in Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Halliburton had a magical postseason run before the injury, knocking down a tying or winning shot in the final seconds of all 4 rounds, the first player to do so in a single playoffs. It hasn't been an easy offseason for the Pacers, with the team also losing center Miles Turner to the Milwaukee Bucks in free agency.
Fox's Joe Morgan ahead of the opening bell on Wall Street this hour. Stock futures are mixed, basically flat. I'm Chris Foster. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Several people hurt. It follows 2 separate crashes on Kirby Avenue in Champaign. The first, Sunday at the intersection of 4th Street and Kirby. 3 were sent to hospitals. Not long after, another crash reported near the intersection of Kirby Avenue and State Street. 1 person was hospitalized. In that wreck, police and fire continue to investigate. Investigations underway follows a deadly July 4th shooting in Champaign. It happened in the 1900 block of West Bradley Avenue Friday. Shooting victim arrived a short time later at the hospital where they were pronounced dead. No arrests have been made so far in this case. Illinois Department of Transportation reminding drivers to slow down during roadside mowing season. During the summer, IDOT conducts 2 primary types of mowing, including safety mowing directly adjacent to the road as needed. The other is maintenance mowing. The heaviest mowing operations will continue until August 15. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Jim. We go to Greg Solier, meteorology. He's always working the maps.
Yep. Always a pleasure.
Always trying
here,
to figure
as
out.
Finkel used to say, here to protect and serve.
There you go. Kind of what the police say.
See?
Yeah. Well, when you come to tragedies like Texas, I mean, there is a critical role for meteorology. And really important that they had.
And the ground was just so hard because of a little bit of a drought that wasn't able to absorb the water. Just rolled off.
A long
time. Yeah,
long-term drought.
Like concrete, man. The comes just boom and rolls on. Doesn't soak it in.
Okay.
Just nothing. So it's
soil makeup. Throw the hill country in there, and they've had some rain. There's if you go up north out of Kerr County, it's gotten extremely wet. But you go from Kerr County south, you're still dealing with the dryness and drought. So it was, again, like we said yesterday, kind of the perfect flash flood storm to be going on.
Yeah, and I questioned. We talked a little bit about this last hour about should you have anything there because of the threat and this thing is. It doesn't happen often, but it happens enough to say maybe we shouldn't go there because the note is they had a 1932 major flood, 7 drowned. 1978, 33 died, Guadalupe River. 1987, 10 teens died. 35 inches, multiple deaths, 2002. 2015, 13 dead. And then, of course, this one, 104.
And you
horrible. And still missing, people missing.
Mexico, Arizona, we're in those same, dry, drought-ridden areas. Streams and rivers are dried up. All of a sudden, you get these downpours of a quick inch or two, and then, may not be a campground setting, but that's another issue you have to watch out for in other parts of the country, particularly in the south and southwest.
I think the speed of which it just went up to their necks. I mean, it was like minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You go from ankle to knee to over your head in like 5 minutes. I couldn't believe how fast it went.
Right.
Wow.
And did we have this with a hurricane a couple of 2 or 3 years ago? A remnant feature that just sat there and just rained itself out in the Appalachians. And the worst of it was in eastern Kentucky, West Virginia, Western Virginia. Then we had Harvey that came ashore. There was no land issues per se as in topography and geography, but Harvey brought these kind of rains and these kind of flooding situations into eastern Texas a few years ago. So
Boy, I'm telling you, it just goes quickly. I mean, around here, of course, we're used to very little warning for tornadoes.
Yeah, that's our thing.
Yeah,
that's our thing.
Yeah,
Down there, it's the flash flooding around here, and especially these nighttime outbreaks of these severe weather events.
Horrible. Yeah, middle of the night, the worst. Yeah. All right, let's check your weather. Meteorologist Greg Solier on this Tuesday, July 8th, sir.
Yes, and we have a reading of 72 rather comfortable degrees and a fairly comfortable for almost mid-summertime weather around here. No extreme heat or humidity. That will both ebb and flow here in the coming days. Kind of a series of weak frontal boundaries waffling their way through the area. Sometimes the air is a little more comfortable. Other times it's a little more warmer and more humid. And we'll just kind of deal that going forward here the next 5 to 10 days. And dance around some rains. It will once again show variance in coverage, scope, and intensity. Pretty good sell over the northwestern end of the state. Some activity weakening coming east of the Illinois River down around Beardstown currently. We'll head towards an afternoon high today of about 87, right where we need to be for the time of year. Rain chance at about 30% here for the afternoon. Stray shower thunderstorm this afternoon. Evening time lows down here 70. Tomorrow, partly sunny. Another shower thunderstorm chance later morning and afternoon, much like today, and a high around 86. We'll head towards the middle 80s, but a drier air mass, lower humidity on Thursday. But then humidity creeps back up. We'll flirt with 90 on Friday with some better coverage, scattered showers and thunderstorms Friday and Saturday, 87 on Saturday, middle 80s on Sunday. We hold mid to upper 80s, no extreme heat into Monday and Tuesday of next week. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
From computer systems to brakes and tires too, at PDR, fixing cars is what they do. Remember, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 or use their dedicated text-only line at 383-0619. Additional information, including repair quotes and online scheduling requests, available from the website at pdrauto.com. Remember, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. We're talking to John Reichert from A&R Mechanical. 100 years in our community. So many buildings in this town, like Memorial Stadium. Of course, the State Farm Center. Can you remember the reaction from the company getting that? Because that's a big one.
Oh, that was huge. If you just think about it a little bit, everything we put in is straight, pipe is straight. We're putting all that into a round building. And, it took a lot of know-how to make that project happen. It was one of the first projects we did using our new technologies. And the timing was just right. We were the right people for that project, and I think we did it successfully.
The legacy of A&R. John, I could almost say, what haven't you built? Up and down campus, the Siebel Center was fairly new for computer science.
Everybody was working as a team, and I think it came out very well.
A&R Mechanical has helped build Carl at the Fields expansion and other Carl projects in Provena and Sarah Bush Lincoln. The list goes on and on. Visit them at ar-mech.com. Lucky A&R Mechanical had Tim Onstad, our pitmaster, fix them brisket and ribs last week.
Man, I would have liked to have been invited to
He
that
fed
party.
86 people were fed.
I know how good eating that is from his tailgating.
Some of the fellows were loading up on meat only. Oh, there you go. I said it would have been really nice.
Lately, I do that too. I don't get a bun. I just get the meat and the sauce.
I thought it would have been nice if Steve Hall would have put out about a dozen hammocks. I mean, you get kind of much. I can't eat much at noon. I fall asleep.
Right.
So you need a hammock
Little
for crying out loud.
siesta.
Yeah, forget that 1 o'clock appointment. I got a second
food coma.
little nap here. All right. We have talked a lot about the thing I'd never heard a word about, and Donald Trump did mention it July 3rd, if you were astute, about possible amnesty for some of our illegal people. And he's qualifying it with people that, we know that, listen, I've seen the Hispanic people on a roof, and I'm amazed. They don't take breaks.
No, they are hard.
I mean,
working.
they are. And if I'm from Mexico and I have a family and the door's open, heck yeah, man. So how do you do this? So you're going to have to figure out, first of all, no criminal activity. Can't stay for that.
Right.
But if you're somebody
and
that's
have
truly...
you been here for a while?
Have you been here for a while? Ronald Reagan did it in amnesty in 86, and you had to be here for at least 4 years. So in other words, you've kind of established, you're kind of in the shadows, you have a chance to come out of the shadows, and Donald Trump, it sounds like this is being crafted as we speak, and you're thinking, well, that's got to be bipartisan, right? Got to be Democrats would be all for this, I would think. But in this day and age, who knows? I don't know if you can get a Democratic vote anymore, but we'll see what happens. But that could be on the horizon, and it could be, don't be shocked. You heard it here. All right, check your sports headlines.
All right, Washington Nationals are in St. Louis tonight. Do you want to do the Redbird recap?
Sure, here we go.
The Redbird Recap is sponsored by Helitech Waterproofing and Foundation Repair. Heal your home with Helitech.
After an off day yesterday, the Cardinals are back at tonight. They're at home as they match up against the Washington Nationals. The Cardinals just lost 2 of 3 to the Chicago Cubs. Over the 2 losses, they allowed 22 runs. Sonny Gray on the mound tonight. He comes in with an 8-3 record, a 3.51 ERA. He's 2-1 with a 5.14 ERA in 9 career appearances against the Nationals. Jake Irvin will start for Washington. He comes into the game 7-3 with a 4.71 ERA. This will be the first game for former Cardinal Miguel Cairo, serving as the Nationals' interim manager. He takes over for Davey Martinez, who was recently let go. Cairo spent parts of 4 seasons with the Cardinals from 2001 to 2003, and then again in 2007. Over 255 games, he had a .301 batting average, 645 first pitch, our coverage at 550. For the St. Louis Cardinals Radio Network, I'm Matt Pauley.
All right, we had the Cubs at Minnesota for the Twins at the 6:40 over on US 105.9. Toronto over the Chicago White Sox 8-4. So Blue Jays are 53-38 on the season. That's the most victories before the All-Star break that comes our way next week. I did pull up some of the players that you were mentioning, Stevie, and some of the rosters that for the MLB All-Star break, but I don't know if we're interested in that sort of thing at all, but not.
The Cubs and
in
Cardinals.
Atlanta,
I'm interested in the Cubs and Cardinals. I think the Cubs have 2 starters, but I'm thinking it's Tucker and Pete Crow Armstrong, and the Cardinals. I think have Brendan Donovan was named as
Kyle Tucker, OF
outfielder, and then Pete Crow Armstrong's having a monster.
Pete Crow Armstrong outfielder,
center
and they're starters. So.
Yeah, that's huge. Well, they should be. I mean, the
starters.
Cubs are real, man. Yeah. It's unbelievable how good the Cubs are this year.
Brendan Donovan for the St. Louis.
Yep, that's in. White Sox have to have somebody, but I don't know who. You have to have one from each team.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, Shane Smith is on the roster.
Okay. All right.
RHP.
That's right-handed pitcher.
Yeah. Okay. And that's it.
Okay. Gotcha.
The Dodgers have a few, it looks like. And, yeah. So there you go. That's July 15th as the festivities begin in Atlanta. Tyrese Halliburton and that torn Achilles will mean that he won't play next season. That's been a top trending story. And locally, we've got head football coach Brett Bielema, one of 26 coaches for Coach of the Year, with the Bobby Dodd Trophy list being tapped with the Peach Bowl list yesterday.
I don't know who Bobby Dodd is.
I don't know either.
Bobby Bowen?
It's DODD.
Bobby Dodd.
One of 5 Big Ten coaches to make the list. So
I think that's quite an honor if you're talking about top 26 coaches in America. Good move by our athletic director, Josh Whitman, to lock him down. What seemingly is a lockdown for both Brett Bielema and Brad Underwood because of their age. There's a huge stumbling block to leave here. Nobody can purge and come in and take my guy. It cost him a fortune, I think. So, no, it's great. We got Brett Bielema, the man who, if you turn sideways, you might not see him. Not quite yet, but boy, is he down some weight.
Yes, he has.
He looks fantastic.
Guided our Illini to a program record-tying 10 wins in 2024. Is one of 5 Big Ten coaches on this list.
Yeah.
Assigned to that 6-year extension that you're talking about in May
fantastic.
2025.
Is he 55 now, 56? So that'd take him into his 60s.
Right.
Brad Underwood was like 61, isn't he?
And the last season ranking when the AP Top 25 was at number 16 and returning 18 starters from the Cheez-Its Citrus Bowl.
All right. Mentioned the first time around. I was just, we're used to not following up good news are good. But maybe now the thing changes. Maybe you now are into the, wow, we did it. We got over that hump. But with 18 starters, presuming they stay healthy, we've got all that experience, all that talent that should bode well for us. It really should. So here's one mini goal. Be relevant in October when Ohio State comes to town.
Yes.
Because you got some games here in September and early, including at Duke, who's a bowl team. And then you got doggone at Indiana's a problem, and then home USC. That's not going to be easy.
I know.
These are, but they're games that you got to win if you want to be a player. You got one loss, and then the second loss, you're probably, now I'm talking, playoff kind of level. So, and that's what the team's thinking. That's what the coaches are thinking, man. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. I'm all for it. So exciting.
If we're not talking basketball,
here's weather.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Eastern Florida, Champaign, Urbana, and vicinity. Pretty much par for the course. Early July weather continues on. Temperatures in check. Humidity once in a while up and elevated. And from time to time, we'll muster up a couple of showers and thunderstorms. Otherwise, a pretty easy going stretch here in the days to come. Up to 87 today. A little fog patch around this morning. A partly sunny midday and afternoon. Also includes a shower thunderstorm in spots for the afternoon. Isolated in coverage. Light wind, again, topping out around 87 today, down to 69 to 74 tonight. Stray shower thunderstorm this evening. The rain odds tomorrow bumped up to 40% and 30% tomorrow night. Partly sunny skies otherwise. 86 tomorrow, about the mid-60s tomorrow night. And slightly drier with sunshine for the day on Thursday. The high around 86. And again, a couple of showers and thunderstorms scattered each day Friday through the weekend. Daytime readings close to 90 on Friday. Upper 80s for the weekend. Muggy overnight lows will bottom out in the upper 60s to mid-70s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solke.
I'm Taylor Riggs, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stock futures appear to be trading in a narrow range after 14 nations were told they will face tariffs ranging from 25 to 40%. However, the deadline has been extended to August 1st. Japan and South Korea say they want to negotiate. Wedbush securities analyst Dan Ives says Tesla's board needs to act now as CEO Elon Musk doubles down on politics. Ives says the board should increase Musk's ownership of the company to 25% voting power, but also specify the amount of time Musk must spend on Tesla to fulfill his pay package. Shares of solar energy company Sunrun down more than 7% after President Trump signed an executive order aimed at scrapping federal subsidies for wind and solar. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda. Invested in you.
It's time to take the quiz.
It's 5 questions in less than 5 minutes. We asked people on the streets of New York City to play along. Let's see how you do.
What is the name of the coffee shop in the sitcom Friends?
Mel's Diner.
Central Perk. The answer? Central Perk. Either way, you can always try again tomorrow. Take the quiz every day at thequiz.fox, then come back here to see how you did.
And thank you for taking the quiz.
Jesse with Land's Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions. Hey, do you have sewer blockages, problems? Are your toilets gurgling? Why deal with the headache? Call Land's Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions today. We can come out and clean your line, camera it, show you what the problem is, and then we have an expert underground team that can make those repairs. 217-355-5512. We are here for you when you need us. Land's Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions. Why call anyone else?
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow right here in Champaign-Urbana can switch you over so you can start saving today. Kurt and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. It's easy to switch and save. Just give them a call when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
At Christie Clinic, our commitment is for the care of our community. That commitment includes keeping care local, where our patients, their families, our clinics, and their hospital of choice are located. Our providers live and work here. It's their passion to care for their families and neighbors. Thank you for choosing Christie Clinic. your hometown provider. When you do, you support the health and well-being of your community.
Make an appointment today at ChristyClinic.com and click on online scheduling. Take care of yourself and put your health first.
Well, it is said May 6, 1954, Roger Bannister broke the 4-minute mile as the first human to do it in 3 minutes, 59.4 seconds. I would argue Mike Lindemann, Body and Soul Sports, is actually the first man. You did it in that neighborhood. I was timing you. He's 3:58, Mike. So congratulations, according to my clock.
Yeah, that was a pretty fast clock.
What was you're such a, when I think running in this town, I think of Mike Lindemann.
Yes.
There's no question that the absolute center of running in this town is Mike Lindemann and Body and Soul. There's just no refuting. Everybody goes there. It's because every one of your people knows a lot about running because they're runners. And when you have that kind of a deal going, it's awfully good. You have a sale coming up, man. Why do you do sales? Everybody buys your stuff anyway.
Well, we do our annual tent sale, and it's probably a good time, and because unfortunately a lot of the shoes are going to hit a little bit of a price increase coming up with I don't know if it's because of tariffs or they're just using it as an excuse to raise prices or what, but they're like everything else, you're going to see some price increases this summer and fall.
Okay, so what kind of sale are we looking at? What kind of numbers are we starting at? What do you have?
So we've got a tent going up today. Inside the tent, we have things marked down as low as $80 off a pair of shoes.
Oh my! Oh man! Well, okay then.
Everything's probably between $50 and $80 off, and then inside the store, everything in the store is on sale. So it's a store-wide sale, not just if you don't find something in the tent, you can come in the store and choose from some of the newer models and things like that. So it's a fun time.
Are we starting today?
We're starting tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay. Tomorrow's the day, and then it's running through when?
It goes through Sunday.
Okay, so I better bring my wallet because I know Gracie needs some. She's going to come in. I'm going to definitely come in. Are you talking Hoka's or all brands or what?
We're talking. So a lot of right now. The reason we do this in July, not just because it's 100 degrees out. But,
yeah, right. That's right.
But we do it because a lot of the new models will be coming. Well, are either just now coming out or come out at the end of July. So it's kind of a way to move. Get great prices on some a little bit older model shoes and or some great prices on some new shoes too. Some newer models.
So essentially, sale on everything, every brand you have.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Because I got Hoka's. And they're just like kind of walking on air.
Real spongy.
Real comfortable.
Well, you guys are a Hoka family.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I don't know where that came from, but
I don't either. You're really comfortable.
Well, and I took my son, who's flat-footed, Aiden, to a podiatrist, is it, for the feet?
Yep.
And he recommended coming to Body and Soul and said, you got to get something with support for your arches, for your the whole walking process, the gait. This is the show.
Yep.
And you don't want to pick up at these big box stores a pair of shoes that's really only going to last you 3 months, essentially. This is coming from the doctor. You want something that's going to be durable and last. And he's a bagger at Schnucks and Savoy, so he's on his feet all the time. So we just love Body and Soul. And the service there.
No,
when people, how long has it been since you actually had your shoe, your foot
measured.
Measured.
Yeah. No, you can run your gait and supinating. Is that the word I'm thinking of? Supinating. Supination. And what's the other one? It's in or out. And what's the other?
Overpronation.
See, I could totally. I could sell shoes for you. I'd be going. Well, those are good. Well, these good for my feet. Hey, Randy, are these good for her feet? I can do that. So, anyway, you're a legendary dude, Mike. You've helped. Any idea the number of races you've helped, inccling Tolono's?
Yeah, just recently.
Hey, how many races
saved a day at Tolono? Fun day. You and Dave Ellers.
Totally hundreds. Is it thousands? I mean, you've been around so many events.
I don't know. Nowadays it kind of goes a little bit to chip timing. So the bigger races, so we kind of do the old honestly, I guess the old-fashioned things. But in the heyday, I probably did more than one a week. So
wow, 52 a year.
60 a week, so something like that. So,
that's nuts.
And we still do it for smaller races because it's a way to still make some money and get you going and stuff. So
yeah, but I'm telling you what, you're kind of like I'm the last locally owned media maybe in the world. You're the last locally owned shop like that where you have so many professional guys that are so good, men and women that know running, and it's locally owned. Hallelujah! That's awesome. We love that.
Yep. 46 years.
Yep. Man. And Mike is 56 this year, so it's awesome.
Yes,
look
been
really
starting since he was 10.
I know. He was out there with the lemonade stand, then he bought his shoes out to sell, and then started like that.
Well, and when you think of the women's basketball program that you and Dave Ellers did such great things with at Parkland, thank you for all of that, too.
Winning percentage is higher than John Wooden, man. That's what your winning percentage. No, I'm serious. I bet it was over 80%. You didn't lose, man. How are you this year, Mike? 24-2. Shouldn't have lost
right.
It's nuts. Anyway, good talking to you. I hope it's a great sale. It starts tomorrow, Body and Soul, right off Route 45 in Savoy. You can't miss it. It's a legendary place. Good luck getting in. What time you open tomorrow?
We open at 9.
Okay, and the hours are 9 to
6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 on Saturday, and 12 to 5 on Sunday.
Okay, folks, get out there. You're going to save big bucks on fantastic
lowest
shoes.
Prices of the season with this tent sale at Body and Soul, Route 45 and Curtis Road.
We'll be out there, my friend. Talk soon. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
All right, Mike Lindemann over at Body and Soul. I love the fact that they're here. They've been here. Mom and pops, man, we love you.
Yeah.
We love everybody, but we especially love the mom and pops.
Absolutely.
Because we know what it's like making a payroll.
Ooh, maybe we should get a Stever offer going through.
Probably should. I just buy them for people. You're going to save some money on this
That's
one. All right, the news coming up. Stand by. It's 8:30.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Fox News, I'm Gianna Gelosi. Day 5 of the desperate search for survivors in the devastating Central Texas floods. More than 100 people are confirmed dead, and that number is expected to rise with dozens still missing.
You have mangled trees, cars that were just thrown into the river, and just these chunks of debris that rescue teams have been sifting through, trying to find the dozens of victims that are still unaccounted for.
President Trump now set to visit the disaster zone Friday, but today he's going to convene his 6th cabinet meeting after a high-stakes dinner with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who had a little surprise.
So I want to present to you, Mr. President, the letter I sent to the Nobel Prize Committee. It's nominating you for the Peace Prize, which is well-deserved.
Senator Bernie Sanders blasted the president for hosting a, quote, war criminal under ICC indictment. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, all you backyard chefs and grill gurus, barbecue season is here, and I know that you're anxious to fire up that smoker or grill, but your yard needs mowed. Yes, your wife is getting hangry, but that grass isn't going to cut itself. What's an aspiring pitmaster going to do? Get the world's fastest mower, of course, a Dixie chopper from Dedicated Diesel in Urbana. They carry a full line of Dixie choppers from the Z2 and Magnum residential models up to the big Excalibur and classic commercial machines that can mow nearly 8 acres an hour. This is award-winning competition pitmaster Tim Onstott, and whether I'm cooking low and slow or hot and fast, I always have time to savor the flavor because my mowing time is cut down by Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest mower. Get your Dixie Chopper at Champaign-Urbana's only dealer, Dedicated Diesel, at 1313 Triumph Drive in Urbana, 217-328-0562.
At Freedom Roofing, they stand for quality, integrity, and the American way. Locally owned and built on trust, they take pride in protecting what matters most, your home. Their expert team delivers top-notch craftsmanship with unbeatable customer service because you deserve nothing less. When storms hit or roofs age, call the name that stands for strength. Freedom Roofing, proudly serving our community because your roof should be as strong as the country we call home. Freedom Roofing, built on trust, powered by integrity. Visit freedomchampaign.com.
Want unbeatable prices on your next furniture purchase, but also seeking that local hometown feel? Look no further than Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. Customers rave about their friendly, established staff, as well as their great selection, amazing prices, and second-to-none delivery service. They're a third-generation local business, and they've always got your best interests at heart. Find the look you love for less. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, but always available online at kelseyfurniture.com. That's kelseyfurniture.com.
It's the sale you wait for all year. Body & Soul's annual tent event is back. From July 9th through the 13th, head to Body & Soul on Dunlap Avenue in Savoy for huge savings. Up to 80% off your favorite name brand shoes, apparel, and gear. The tent is open 9 to 6 weekdays, 9 to 5 Saturday, and noon to 5 on Sunday. But deals this good won't last. Get all the details at bodyandsoulsports.com. And don't forget to like Body & Soul on Facebook. Body & Soul's tent event, July 9th through the 13th.
Here's a look at local news. Investigations underway follows a deadly July 4th shooting in Champaign. It happened in the 1900 block of West Bradley Avenue Friday. Shooting victim arrived a short time later at the hospital where they were pronounced dead. No arrests have been made so far in this case. Illinois Department of Transportation reminding drivers to slow down during roadside mowing season. During the summer, IDOT conducts 2 primary types of mowing, including safety mowing directly adjacent to the road as needed. The other is maintenance mowing. The heaviest mowing operations will continue until August 15. Several people hurt. It follows 2 separate crashes on Kirby Avenue in Champaign. The first, Sunday at the intersection of 4th Street and Kirby. 3 were sent to hospitals. Not long after, another crash reported near the intersection of Kirby Avenue and State Street. 1 person was hospitalized in that wreck. Police and fire continue to investigate. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather. Free Central Illinois, Champaign, Urbana, and vicinity. Pretty much a quiet, easy-going July weather pattern. No extreme heat or humidity. No big headlines going forward on dryness or drought either. A little dry around the edges, but be able to make amends on that with almost a daily mention of a shower and thunderstorm at a couple of spots. Much like today, isolated in nature this afternoon. Some patchy fog this morning. Partly sunny otherwise. Light wind up to 87. Down to near 70 tonight. A bit of a muggier night with a stray shower thunderstorm this evening. Tomorrow, partly sunny, a shower thunderstorm in spots for the morning and again for the afternoon. Highs up to 86, down to the mid-60s tomorrow night, and slightly drier air. Sunshine, seasonal warm for the day on Thursday at 86. Back into warmth and humidity. Highs close to 90 with a couple of showers and thunderstorms breaking out Friday, especially in the afternoon, and scattered stuff for the weekend at 87 on Saturday, middle 80s on Sunday, 88 next Monday. Back into scattered showers and thunderstorms the middle part of next week as well. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Congratulations to the Village of Philo on its 150th anniversary, of which 142 of those years, Philo Exchange Bank has served the community. Join us as we celebrate 150 years of Philo on July 17th through the 20th. We have also partnered with the Champaign County History Museum to have an exhibit in our downtown Philo Bank starting July 17th. Find more information at philobank.com or on our Facebook page.
Philo Exchange Bank, hometown community banking since 1883. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You know, the News Gazette talked to me yesterday about the center of the universe. They also talked to my mom and about why living in Philo and what drew them to Philo.
Yeah.
And Mom was part of the founding of the Philo Library, which was really important for her. Mm-hmm. And they got started when Professor Shedd in civil engineering, who was my father's professor, donated 300 books, he and his wife, to get the Philo Library going. But Professor Shedd mentored my dad.
And was he Shedd Aquarium Shedd?
I don't know about that.
Okay.
But Professor Shedd was very prominent civil engineer to Illinois in the 40s, 50s. My dad came along in the 50s And then my dad mentored Fazlur Khan, who built the Sears Tower, and Bill Baker, who built the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. My dad famously said, "I like to think they succeeded in spite of me." Anyway, it's that'd probably be in the News Gazette here in the next, I would think, few days. Maybe maybe next week is the
150th celebration is coming up Thursday night. They'll kind of kick it all off with a variety show of sorts. So they've got this stage at Hale Park, and that'll have all kinds of entertainment in and out of the whole weekend from the 17th through the 20th. And the finale is the big fireworks show that Johnny was just looking at the hill. We think it's, 20 feet on the steep?
There's a hill here because they needed a retention pond.
Mm-hmm.
And the mayor priced digging all that dirt up and hauling it away was thousands and thousands to do that. So he said, why not a snow hill, like a sledding hill?
Right.
And so apparently the kids flocked to that. That's a great, he said it's one of the best moves I've ever made.
I mean, you don't even need a bunch of fancy equipment sometimes.
It's a hill.
I saw at the State Farm Center on the 4th of July, there were kids playing on a little mound of dirt.
Yeah.
And it was like they had some construction in a parking lot. And I was like, you know what? That's all they need.
Well,
there was 8 of them playing King of the Hill.
And just a big box to open on Christmas. They don't need to have anything in it. They just like the box.
Sometimes the packing peanuts are even funner.
You're going, wait a minute.
Bubble wrap.
What about the present? They don't want the present. They want the box.
Right.
Yeah.
So lots of things going on. I know I'm calling out the bingo at 2 o'clock on Sunday the 20th. I know on the 19th there is a parade and then the car show from the Illini Collector Car Club that my husband and Chris Payne are so active in. That's from noon to 3. And then the bags tournament. And they have all kinds of things going on. So if you need any information, just go to Village of Philo and click on events to find out all the details of what you want to do that
Everything's
weekend.
on Facebook, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We've also got Pia's going to be celebrating on July 19th, and they've got 50 years with this parking lot party and different kind of bands coming in
Where are they
and
going to
out.
park everybody? How do you do that?
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
There's special 50-year souvenir cups and T-shirts and giveaways, a proclamation from the mayor, and what I like is the idea of the different bartenders in and out over the years. And is it Paul Piscovi? Piscovi?
Paul Piscovi. I knew Paul Piscovi. He's the original Pia.
Mm-hmm.
But that was quite a character. I think he passed away recently, last few years.
And really had planned as a pizza restaurant was Stacy Pomonis, who was known for Taffy's, and then Marianne was his wife, Merry.
That's still going.
Yes, absolutely. And so it's just nice to have that kind of connection and all the softball tournaments, and this was the place to go, and still is, after games and things like that, and to watch some of your favorite games. And Chad Pitcher being part of things, became an owner in 2000. So it's just been awesome to salute Pia's, and we've got that on our
50 years, unbelievable.
On
50
July
years.
19th.
Saturday, July 19th. Here's just a random thing. I used to go to Uncle John's. Wonderful. Then it was Aunt Sonia's.
Yeah.
Then it was torn down. IHOP, used to go there. That was torn down. Where's the pancake in this town?
Original House of Pancakes.
Outside of that, the new place in Urbana.
That Maple and Yolk.
Yeah.
It used to be Urbana Gardens.
And what is called Maple and Yolk?
Mm-hmm.
I heard
Lincoln
that,
and I-74.
I have heard that that's amazing.
But you haven't been.
I haven't been.
Okay.
I haven't been to Original a while either. Original pancakes, that was awesome. But something about Uncle John's. I really like the Uncle John's
I
pancakes.
did too. They were thin.
The batter was different or something.
Good.
Aunt Sonia's was essentially the same. They just changed the name.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were around in the early 70s, you saw Uncle John's. And
my goodness.
Actually,
it was
up till like 1980, I think. I'm not sure when Aunt Sonia switched, but I was there broadcasting live for a pancake eating competition.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had all these people, and there were probably 30 people competing. How many pancakes? When I was in my prime, I could knock out 11.
Okay.
Johnny did 14.
And what was the timer on that? 5 minutes?
No. We're talking an hour.
Okay.
You had a long time.
Okay.
But it was interesting to see how people ate those pancakes. One guy rolled them up dry.
Okay.
Ate it, and then had a chase of orange juice.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay.
One woman had it all butter and syrup. Every stack had butter. So when I left, and the deal was you got season tickets for Mike White's Fighting Illini football team in I think it was 1980.
Right.
Maybe 81. Anyway, it was long story. So I left, and the one guy had consumed 45 pancakes. 45 pancakes is like an anvil in your stomach. Wow. 45 of those Uncle John's pancakes. The woman who weighed 120 pounds had 44.
Oh, wow.
I think they were U of I students, but it was a remarkable. Her roommate was there, and she said, yeah, she can eat half a gallon of ice cream in one sitting.
Whoa. I mean, when I even watched some of the Nathan's famous,
hot dog.
Joey Chestnut doing 70 hot dogs.
That's a time, 10 minutes, whatever.
I feel like it's 5 minutes. I was just going to look that up. How long was that?
That's just, I don't have any idea how he's alive.
How do they do that?
How does Joey do it?
I don't know.
He pounds everybody. And apparently he's actually physically in really good shape.
Right.
Well, how's his stomach? I know. Okay, anyway, that's the pancake story. Okay. So we got original, we got the
maple and yolk.
Maple and yolk.
So people were texting in about that also. So 217-359-2255.
I mean, you're not challenging original, are you? Would you go to maple yolk over original?
Maybe.
Is it that good?
It was good.
So they redid the inside and everything.
Yeah, they did. It's more modern.
And the food's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Those are just free plugs here. 8.
We got to get these people on the radio.
Well, if they want to be known.
Absolutely.
It sounds like the maple thing is pretty crowded because of the word of mouth's pretty good. If you have a restaurant and people like your food, it'll spread pretty quickly. If you have a restaurant with bad food, there'll be plenty of seating.
That's right.
So that's kind of how it works. Not much to explain here, except it's great.
Jets is hiring. Call 217-352-9992 or stop into 1907 West Springfield Avenue near Round Barn in Champaign. Jets is open till 10 p.m., Fridays and Saturdays till midnight. Are you looking for a side hustle? Here's Josh from Jets talking about the benefits of doing deliveries.
When I was a delivery driver, it was amazing how much the actual amount of money I had just shot right up. It's hard to describe. You have money in your pocket every single day.
For details on joining the team, visit jetspizza.com.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World Command Center.
Paul, we have extreme heat warning. Summer 2025 is a hot one in Champaign-Urbana.
That's trouble for garage refrigerators.
One just went down in Rantoul. They need delivery right away, Paul.
Put them on for tomorrow. What's going on down here in Fisher?
It's a window air conditioner going out.
Can't have that. Good thing we deliver and install window ACs. We have plenty in stock.
Garage freezer NB man. Customer wants a technician out right away. She's afraid her beef is thawing.
Hate it when that happens. We have a tech in the area. Send Nate right over.
Copy that.
Team, it's like we talk about. At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, we know what hot weather can do to home appliances. More importantly, we're always ready for the heat with fast, friendly repair service and delivery, plus the largest selection of appliances in Champaign-Urbana.
Paul, customer in Muhammad, needs a portable dehumidifier ASAP. Says his tools are rusting out from the humidity.
That can happen. We have dehumidifiers for pickup or fast delivery. Remember, at Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, you get the whole store.
Wow.
When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Actually, I called the provider. It was just going to be a while before I could have service, and I couldn't wait, so I was recommended to Classic. Professionalism, their dependability, credibility, and the service technicians. I wouldn't ever call anybody else.
I truly believe that after people have experienced other companies and then given us a try, they can clearly see the difference.
Visit ClassicPlum.com.
Sports headlines?
Well, maybe I should finish the circle on our competitive eating since I have the Joey Chestnut up. He did this past 4th of July have 70 and a half hot dogs in 10 minutes. But his record at Nathan's in this competition is 76.
But nobody's close, right? It's not like...
I feel like last year he couldn't compete because of some kind of contractual agreement, and the dude had 58.
Okay, so he's way ahead.
But he wants to break his own record, I guess. He's won this title like 17 times.
Oh, my gosh. What do you win? You win a lot of money?
Yeah. Now worth $4 million, earned $500,000 in 2024.
Total.
His speaking fee is between $10,000 and $20,000. So
yeah, well, there you go.
I guess
on the mashed potato circuit.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, we have the Washington Nationals in St. Louis, and we have a big gold chain being handed out for the promotional items tomorrow. Just looking on that series of what you could get at Busch Stadium.
Little bling.
We have the Cubs at Minnesota with a 6:40 start over on US 105.9. And the Toronto-Chicago White Sox series continues at 6:40 tonight with the Blue Jays on top 8-4 yesterday. Tyrese Halliburton torn Achilles out for the season. And head football coach Brett Bielema, congratulations. He's on the watch list for the Bobby Dodd Trophy list.
Now, I promise you that doesn't mean anything to him.
I know.
I mean, it does, but, he's
pretty cool to be one of 26
I think it's great.
college
Great
coaches.
for the program, great for the recognition, but he's going to put it on the kids.
That's right.
All right. Check your weather. That's coming up next. It's ESPN 93.5. It is 8:48. We'll be right back. Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you save an average of $889. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow is ready to help you combine home and auto and save right here in Champaign-Urbana. Call 352-1411 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Average annual per household savings based on a 2019 national survey by State Farm of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
This is Rob Meyer with Provident Financial Group. Unfortunately, there is not a one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is that we can help improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Hey, all you backyard chefs and grill gurus, barbecue season is here, and I know that you're anxious to fire up that smoker or grill, but your yard needs mowed. Yes, your wife is getting hangry, but that grass isn't going to cut itself. What's an aspiring pitmaster going to do? Get the world's fastest mower, of course, a Dixie chopper from Dedicated Diesel in Urbana. They carry a full line of Dixie choppers from the Z2 and Magnum residential models up to the big Excalibur and classic commercial machines that can mow nearly 8 acres an hour. This is award-winning competition pitmaster Tim Onstadt, and whether I'm cooking low and slow or hot and fast, I always have time to savor the flavor because my mowing time is cut down by Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest mower. Get your Dixie Chopper at Champaign-Urbana's only dealer, Dedicated Diesel, at 1313 Triumph Drive in Urbana, 217-328-0562.
Okay, so we have my nephew and niece in town. Lennox was in yesterday and recorded this.
Get in on the account.
Okay, maybe we'll read it together. Try again.
Who needs to read it? The action inflatables will be fun. On Friday, July 18th, there's a kiddie tractor pull after 6.
Okay.
Enjoy the 5K and Kids Fun Run on Saturday, July 19th. I'm looking forward to face painting and a balloon artist.
That's Lennox. She's 9. Lincoln is 7. And can you hear me, Lincoln? You say hi.
Hi.
Okay, and you're leaving today. Lincoln is 7, and you're reading books?
Yeah.
What kind of books? I mean, really hard books? How do you know how to read?
Magic Treehouse.
Magic Treehouse. You can't read those till you're like 10. I didn't think you could read. You can really read the Magic Treehouse?
Yeah.
Okay, math. I'm going to quiz them on some math. All right, now don't feel bad if you don't know these. These are hard. 10 plus 10.
20.
Ah! All right, I'm mad now. 100 plus 100.
200.
All right, now I'm really mad. 10 trillion plus 10 trillion.
2 trillion.
10 trillion plus 10 trillion.
Oh, 20 trillion.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, so he's 7, and he already has me passed up in math. And you spell a little bit. Dog.
D-O-G.
Cat.
C-A-T.
Well, you can have your own show, kid. You're good. Got you covered. Johnny's grandson, Lincoln, your star. All right, 8:52. Well, let's hit Greg's weather one more time. ESPN 93.5. Here's your meteorologist, Greg Solier.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Central Illinois, Champaign, Urbana, and vicinity. Pretty much a quiet, easy-going July weather pattern. No extreme heat or humidity. No big headlines going forward on dryness or drought either. A little dry around the edges, but be able to make amends on that with almost a daily mention of a shower thunderstorm at a couple of spots. Much like today, isolated in nature this afternoon. Some patchy fog this morning. Partly sunny otherwise. Light wind up to 87. Down to near 70 tonight. A bit of a muggier night with a stray shower thunderstorm this evening. Tomorrow, partly sunny, a shower thunderstorm in spots for the morning and again for the afternoon. Highs up to 86, down to the mid-60s tomorrow night, and slightly drier air. Sunshine, seasonal warm for the day on Thursday at 86. Back into warmth and humidity. Highs close to 90 with a couple of showers and thunderstorms breaking out Friday, especially in the afternoon, and scattered stuff for the weekend at 87 on Saturday, middle 80s on Sunday, 88 next Monday, back into scattered showers and thunderstorms the middle part of next week as well. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Hey, where are you headed?
To Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola.
What do they have there?
What don't they have there? Living room furniture, benches, chests, love seats, sectionals, tables, bedroom sets, hutches, nightstands, end tables, cabinets, mirrors, stools, clocks, lamps, pillows, rugs, desks, media consoles, patio furniture, Tempur-Pedic mattresses, and more.
So, everything.
Yeah, probably could have just said that.
Kelsey Furniture, quality for less.
All right, Diane, we're out of time talking to Lincoln here. Pretty good. We'll return tomorrow.
Hearing about his Star Wars stuff is cool.
His dad's got a big collection. Thank you, Diane.
Enjoy the day.
That's Diane Ducey. I'm Stevie J. Thank you for listening. Meet you tomorrow. Have a great Tuesday.
At F&B Wealth Management, it's not just about numbers, it's about people and communities. Hi, I'm Ryan Heiser, President and CEO of Fisher National Bank and F&B Wealth Management. Our team is united by a shared passion for helping you achieve your financial goals. We are equipped and eager to work together to craft personalized financial solutions just for you, including retirement planning, risk management through life insurance, long-term care insurance planning, and investment advisory services. Together, we will celebrate milestones, navigate life's transitions, and build a financial future that reflects your values. Experience the difference of a team that truly cares. Visit investwithfnb.com to learn more about dedicated advisors and start your journey toward a financial confidence today.
F&B Wealth Management is a division of Fisher National Bank. F&B securities are not insured by the FDIC, not a deposit or other obligation of or guaranteed by the depository institution, subject to investment risks, including possible loss of the principal amount invested. Securities, insurance, and investment advisory services are offered through Midwestern Securities Trading Company, LLC, MSTC, member FINRA, SIPC, MSTC, and F&B are not affiliated.
F&B Wealth Management, supporting exceptional communities full of exceptional people.
Ever wonder why you pay your bank to have a checking account? Fisher National Bank does too. You see, they offer free rewards cashback checking that gives you cash back on debit purchases, no service fees or balance requirements. Simply make 12 debit card purchases, receive electronic statements, and have one direct deposit in a monthly cycle. It's so simple. Reward yourself today with rewards cashback checking. Learn more at any branch or FisherNational.com. Fisher National Bank. Exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC.
Actually, I called the provider. It was just going to be a while before I could have service, and I couldn't wait, so I was recommended to Classic. Professionalism, their dependability, credibility, and the service technicians. I wouldn't ever call anybody else.
I truly believe that after people have experienced other companies and then given us a try, they can clearly see the difference.
Visit ClassicPlum.com.
The Champaign County Fair really puts a spotlight on exhibitors in Kessler Hall. Don't forget to stop by the barns. Livestock exhibitors are so proud of their horses, swine, sheep, and cows. It's fascinating as you visit the barns. July 18th through the 26th. Vendors, entertainment, rides, events. The Champaign County royalty? Get more information at champaigncountyfair.cc.
What is most important in your life? This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. If you're launching a career, raising a family, planning for retirement, or creating a legacy, we can help. At Provident, we provide strategic thinking and perspective that help clients realize their goals. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Kelsey Furniture in downtown Tuscola sells Tempur-Pedic beds. What's it like?
I'm going to tell you right now, Stevie, that thing is the best thing I've ever slept on in my life. My wife and I both have said we've never had better night's sleep. And the people at Kelsey's were fantastic. Brian is the guy that helped us. You know, as much as I did my research, he has a world of knowledge about beds themselves. Oh, man, it's like sleeping on a cloud, man.
Kelsey Furniture, downtown Tuscola.
At Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people with amazing service, great design advice, and unbeatable selection and the best prices in town. It's the perfect time to update your home with waterproof flooring, carpet, hardwood, tile, and more. Then complete your rooms by shopping our incredible selection of furniture and accessories. We also offer great financing options. Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people.
Well, I tell you what, though, A&R has been such an amazing, impactful company. Your grandfather, your dad, you've all gone through stuff. And your secret is what, John?
Well, I mean, you have to trust that you're doing the right thing, first of all. And you got to surround yourself with good people. And I think over the years, we've had some really good people that have been part of A&R. And, you know, we owe a lot of our success, if not all of it, to those people.
Neil, you could say A&R has built a great